So there's a lot of new lights out, there's a lot of new technology, and there's a lot of things on the market. One new thing that a lot of people have been jumping on lately seemingly is those Samsung 301H LED diodes. And more companies are having these equipped into their lights. Now, one you may be familiar with is Mars Hydro. And recently they sent me over their FC4800 EVO, the Smart Edition. So I'm gonna open up this light, break it down, set it up, check out the app, and see what it can do. Stay tuned.
Like we always do about this time.
So if you're new here, my name is Rob, this is CLtv, and we talk about all things herb, whether it be gardening, consuming, or the lifestyle. But today, we're going to be talking a little bit about gardening, in particular, a product. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we've got the Mars FC4800 Smart Light, and I actually am pretty excited for this one.
It's new. It's exciting.
Now, what's the big hype between the Samsung 301Bs versus the Samsung 301H? Seems like people are really jumping on that lately, but why? Simply put, Samsung 301Hs and Bs are both top-tier LED diodes, but the Samsung LM301H will have a slightly higher efficacy overall. It's going to also offer a marginal edge in longevity and stability. This diode, just like the predecessor, is going to be maintaining the efficient heat dissipation, contributing to the longer lifespan, of course, and they're going to be more cost-effective. Now, ultimately, they're pretty similar, but you definitely are going to want to have more efficacy, and like I've said before in other videos, the efficacy is the next level of evolution, I feel, when it comes to LEDs. I'd love to be able to have something that's even lower on my electricity bill, but still has a great output and gets me those great results that I'm after. And it seems like these new diodes are doing just that. Now, diodes don't just make the light, of course, it's going to be the fixture as well, and this fixture is definitely legit. And first opening it up, my first impression was, well, yeah, it's a solid light. The fixture doesn't feel cheap and flimsy. It definitely feels like a high quality LED light. And sitting under 500 USD, that's pretty good, especially if you're getting it on sale or using our discount code. Now, it'll vary depending on which ones you're getting, but the quality is definitely not going to vary. It's going to be more about the size and the weight of the product itself. Now, this being a light that's folded in half, it's easy to store, of course, and it's pretty easy to ship. Getting it set up is even easier. One thing I will say with this light is I didn't want to have to get another app for lights. But if you are using other Mars equipment, well, you can also use that light to power those as well if they are smart devices. Now, the app's pretty easy to set up. All you have to do is sign up, get your verification code, and go through the simple steps that are on screen to get going. Now, if you're utilizing the app, you're going to be able to get even more efficacy. Depending on how you want to grow, or depending on what science you're following will say, you may want to go with the sunset or sunrise settings. Now, this will set up a gradual increase and decrease in your light, similar to what it would be for outside in nature. That's a pretty cool feature, and it definitely helps that you can change any of these things on the go with the app because it works wherever you're at. Using over-the-air technology, it ensures that you got hassle-free, efficient data transfer between your devices, and you won't be losing connectivity. And if you're somebody who's using smart devices in the past, you probably have seen situations where you need to be right in your room or near the product itself. But utilizing this technology will help keep that data transfer secure, so you won't have to worry about dropping connectivity when you're on the go. Because trust me, when you're traveling, that sucks.
And signal dropped or something.
Now, you're going to want to make sure that your driver is set in the right settings for Bluetooth, otherwise it's not going to be able to pick up the device. Now, of course, you can manually change the dimmer, but you're better off to just use everything through the app itself, in my opinion. Now, one thing that threw me off right away with the app is when it came to the reviews.
Less than great.
Sometimes people will ignorantly go say a negative thing before confidently going to say a positive thing. That just happens to be the way humans are sometimes. I don't know. But installing this app was super simple, and so far everything seems to be working properly. You're going to want to make sure that you have the correct time zone, because if you don't, things won't work properly on the app, of course. But honestly, you should probably know your own time zones. I think that would be human error, if anything. Dumbass. And you don't want to ruin a grow just based on technology when you know the equipment is solid. So definitely want to make sure that you have everything right in your settings, your time zone, and you mess around a little bit with the app before you take off or go anywhere. So now that the app's installed, it's pretty much just checking out the light and seeing how she works. Now, just like I mentioned earlier, those Samsung 301H LEDs are going to provide that full spectrum light with optimal plant growth throughout the entire growth stage. Whether you're in early in veg or you're finishing off into flower, you can use this light all the way through. It being a lower watt light at 480 watts, it's definitely going to be more efficient on your electricity bill, but also on your garden itself. You won't be dealing so much with burning and overpowering your garden. With this light in particular in a 4x4 grow tent or an open space, you're going to be covering your full footprint and you're going to be keeping that cost down at the same time. Between the multi-bar style and the wave shape heatsink, it's definitely made it so this light is ideal for us home growers, tent growers, or people in small spaces. And if you're in a small grow space, this ideally would fit about a 4x4 grow tent, as where if you're in a commercial setting, the footprint will be closer to 3x3. Now, if this isn't the right size for you, Mars also has a FC3000 EVO that's going to fit a 3x3 tent. They have an FC6500 EVO that's going to be fitting a 5x5 tent. The 8000 EVO, which also can fit a 5x5 tent, and a 1000 watt, which again also is going to be a 5x5 tent. Now, this depends, of course, on the intensity you want to deal with in your garden and that your plants can deal with in your garden. In a commercial cultivation facility, it's going to be a little different, of course, because you can use one of these larger lights with the higher output and have them a little bit higher from your canopy without burning your plants. When you're looking at a PPFD of 3029, you're definitely in the higher range, pushing towards commercial cultivation versus home growing. Now, in today's day and age, a lot of these companies that used to be more of the budget-friendly lights still remain budget-friendly, but have stepped into the range of premium quality. And that's definitely something that as a home grower or as a thrifty grower, I feel like we've been waiting a long time for and finally have seen it. Now, of course, there's a lot of brands out there that are also doing this, but Mars has definitely been stepping up more lately than I really realized they were. I'd say that Mars is delivering very high value when it comes to their LEDs. So when I first got the light, I just got the light, but then just the other day, I also received a shirt from Mars Hydro, which is, it's a shirt.
DANK.
So if you're looking to get this light or any other Mars Hydro products, make sure you use the discount code up here when you're at checkout. So again, big shout out to Mars Hydro, and if there's other products that you could think of or other brands that you think I should check out, drop below in the comment section. With that being said, it's your boy Rob from CLtv. Stay lifted. Peace.
Are you a grower? Are you tired of lugging around too many bottles? Is it too expensive? Is it so confusing? Tired of reading feed charts? Well, guess what? There is an easier way. Introducing the Stash Blend. You can now get your bag of Stash Blend premium additives that you can add to your garden using just about any base nutrients. Go to stashblend.com and get your order today.